Agora, conheceremos todas as novidades e atualizações do sistema ArcGIS 10.1 com o gerente de produto do sistema ArcGIS, Damian Spangrud. Seu conhecimento e sua vasta experiência em tecnologia geoespacial o tornaram referência nesta indústria. Com Damian, o sistema ArcGIS evoluiu até a plataforma completa e poderosa que é hoje. Eu recomendo àqueles que preferirem que, por favor, utilizem os aparelhos de tradução simultânea. Damian, your turn.
Obrigado. Thank you so much for having me. This is also my first trip to Brazil. Today, I want to share with you some of the work that we're doing in Redlands to advance ArcGIS. As we've heard through the last several presentations, we see ArcGIS as a complete system. Something that allows you to use, develop, and deploy GIS throughout your organization and wider, many times to the public. Allowing you to use your desktop, increasingly your web browsers, and your mobile devices interchangeably to do analysis, distribution, and work with your GIS everywhere, using resources that come from your enterprise, come from your own local environments, and increasingly are available from the cloud or your online infrastructure. So today I'm going to cover some of the main themes that are driving us in our development of the next release of ArcGIS, ArcGIS 10.1. Mobile devices are ubiquitous. They're everywhere. If I took a poll in this room of how many people did not have a mobile device, I don't think we'd have more than one or two people stand up. And we would probably chip in and buy them one for them. For us, its ability to take this GIS functionality everywhere, both from the traditional ruggedized device and mobile deployments. You've all seen them, the tough books, the ruggedized machines you can drop, but increasingly to the lighter weight, more consumer applications that are everywhere. And that means pushing across new platforms. And you'll see some of that later this morning with use on Android. But it's also about allowing you to take your GIS offline. Mobile devices are not always connected. We have the urban canyons, we have the hot dead zones, we have places where there is no coverage. And we want to be able to use any device in any location. So with 10.1, we will offer the ability on all of the devices to be able to cache the data, be able to provision the devices with data from your desktop or from online, and take that and walk into the field. And if you lose connectivity when you're in the field, you can keep working. When you gain connectivity, you can sync back up. Another effort we have on mobile devices, as well as the larger developer community, is what Dean mentioned earlier, the ArcGIS Runtime. The ArcGIS Runtime is a new product from Esri. It's focused on the developer community. We've had products focused on developers for some time. But what we currently have with ArcGIS Engine is too big for some of you. It does too much. We focused on runtime at taking the same technology that we currently deliver, but making it smaller. Optimizing it to run on newer hardware with multiprocessors and multi-core. Optimizing it to be native 64-bit application, also available as 32. But reducing the footprint. I can literally run it off a memory stick. I don't have to install the application. Many of you install desktop or engine applications right now and know there are just a few registry keys that get laid down, about 50,000. And you need to be an administrator to configure it. Runtime, you no longer have to. You can literally run it off of a drive, or you can copy it off the web and directly run it. It's focused at developing allowing you to develop these focused applications that run on mobile devices or on your desktop that provide one thing and one thing only and do it well. Let me just show you a quick demo of that. So I'm actually going to start up an application. If my machine wakes up. Now that the hard drives woke up, let's try that again. Okay, that's what I expect. This application is really simple. It allows me to use all of the high-performance display capabilities of the new runtime, as well as take advantage of all of the drawing capabilities of ArcGIS. All the data you see is actually being drawn on the fly, with the advanced symbology coming from desktop, but compartmentized and deployed in this small application. This entire application is under 200 megs. And it allows you to do all your display, query, and actually you can call analysis. You can call geoprocessing and do work on top of this. Let's switch back to the slides. So one of the other areas of our work is focused on the GIS tools that you use every day. Someone made a comment to me a number of years ago that they spend more time in front of ArcMap during the week than they do with their children. It's probably true. By the time you get home, they're going to bed. You've spent 6 hours, 8 hours in front of the computer. So we focus on doing things to help improve that experience, because little things count. They make a big difference. So with 10.1, we've done a lot of work. We've added new capability in Legends. We've allowed you to more automate your map production process. Many of you don't just produce one map. You produce 10, you produce 100. You have to produce a map book, a series. We allow you to now script that using Python to automate the production. But also tools to look at your data over time. 2D and 3D all are temporally aware. All of our data has a time element. We need to start becoming aware of that and using it. There are also tools to improve labeling. Labeling is one of the most time-consuming tasks in producing your map. You can automate a lot of that. And at 10.1, we've now added the new capability to do key number labeling. You've all seen key numbers, but you probably don't know that's what they were called, where you have really dense streets. And instead of labeling with names, you put little numbers there and put the numbers somewhere else in the map that has the street names. We now automatically do that for you. Really increases the productivity. We've also improved editing. Across the system now, you can turn on a capability to track edits. So every edit is recorded with who created the feature and who last updated the feature. And that actually works not just on the desktop, but if you update the feature from a mobile device or the web, all of those edits are tracked as well. So now you know who edited your data. Improved both cartographic generalization and use of the data as well, and working with coordinate systems. So rather than talk about this, let's switch back to the machine over here. Okay, you may recognize this. Now, I do have two degrees in geography, but I'm not very good at coordinate systems and projections. Like many of you, I hate to say. Projections are hard, and we support many different projections across the system. But, as we all know, there's a lot of projections in here. Which one should you use where? With 10.1, we've done a lot of little things to improve this. Like if you know that you want to use a UTM Zone 12 projection, UTM, sorry. I now can find just the UTM projections rather than having to look through everything.